Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. Very big day on hand for us today, because today actually marks my 500th Wi-Fi battle here on YouTube. So I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody who's been watching and supporting me over the years. I really do appreciate everything, all the likes, comments, subscriptions, positive feedback, that kind of thing. We've come so far. In such a period of time here. But I do appreciate everything from you guys, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. So, thank you once again for all that. So, that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the game here, which is going to be against JustWeavile, actually, a fellow PokeTuber here. And so, yeah, we've battled once before back on BDSP. So obviously this is our first game here on Scarlet and Violet. As you can see right there, he has a very strong-looking team on the right-hand side. And yeah, as you can see, I am using the same team I was using in the last game here. So hopefully we can go ahead and make it a good match here. He always posts some interesting content, so yeah, and are very entertaining as well. I think in this one the best course of action here is to go ahead and lead with the Bombardiers, so that's what we're going to do. And we'll go ahead and see how that works out for us. So we also have going to have a whole bunch of links in the video description here for the Discord, the merch store, all that good stuff. Just reminded, since he always does plugs, to do my plugs because I always forget. But there he is, and he's going to go ahead and lead with the Toadscruel as we led with the Bombardier. So this is actually a really good matchup for us. So we have a couple different options on our hands here. We could definitely try to get the Stealth Rock set up. The only unfortunate thing is if he goes for that Spore, we're going to be going to sleep, obviously. So I think the best course of action here is actually just to U-turn, so that's what we're going to do, and see what he wants to do here, as he is not going to want to stay in on this matchup, so he's going to switch out, and he's going to be coming in with the Alomomola, which is kind of okay. We hit this thing with the U-turn, not going to do too much damage to it, but we do get the pivot, which is good, so now we get to bring in a matchup on this thing. So we have a lot of different options to potentially deal with this thing. Not 100% sure what set he's going to be running here. But yeah, this is going to be a choice. So what do we want to do here? I think we're going to come in with the Toadscruel of our own, actually. I think that's going to be what we want to do. So going to come in with that, and yeah, he's going to go ahead and get some HP back with the leftovers, which is of course not the best, but now we need to make another decision here, because he could definitely switch back into the Toadscruel of his own, and if that's the case, Spore is not going to work, I don't believe, even despite the Mycelium Might. I don't think you can Spore a grass type, but then again, maybe you can. I'm not 100% sure how that works. So I think we're going to go ahead and... what do we want to do here? Then again, this thing could be packing Ice Beam too, which could be bad news for us. So maybe we want to switch... oh no. We could just try to hit this thing hard with a Giga Drain. We do have a couple different options here. You know what? I think not much time to decide. We're just gonna go ahead and Giga Drain this thing. He actually does go for the switch, and we'll see what he wants to bring back in. It is gonna be the Toadscruel of his own, so he comes in with that, and we are gonna go ahead and get a Giga Drain on this thing, which is gonna do some good chip to it, take it down by about a quarter. And then he is going to regain some HP with the leftovers. So now we're in a little bit of an interesting situation, because we kind of have a Toadscruel face-off here. Um, I'm not sure what kind of coverage he's packing for us. This thing has a decent move pool, but yeah, I'm not sure what he's going to want to do. But I think we're just going to go ahead and I think we're going to sludge bomb this thing and see what he wants to do here. So we go first. We sludge bomb this thing. Does some decent chip. He's going to go ahead and go for the spore. Either I'm not sure if he was predicting the switch or he was thinking that the Mycelium Might would work. But either way, that doesn't work out for him because that kind of confirms what I was saying before, that the Mycelium Might will not let you spore a grass type anyway. So that kind of worked out okay for us. So yeah, now I think we're just going to go ahead and Sludge Bomb again, hoping for the poison. He actually outspeeds us and Energy Balls us, and that's going to do some chip to us, as he does get a special defense drop too, which sucks. We're going to Sludge Bomb him to drop him down to about a quarter HP there. And then he is going to get some HP back with the leftovers, as we are also going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So either he's winning the speed tie or he has some speed investment, which we don't, so he's outspeeding us. So that special defense drop really hurts, because I really don't want to stay in on this thing now that we had a special defense drop, because the next attack is really going to hurt because of that. So but then again, if we do switch out, he could go for the spore, so this is going to be an interesting situation. What do we want to do? How do we want to play this? How do we want to play this? I feel like he might spore because of the special defense drop. So yeah, I think we're gonna stay in Giga Drain, because I feel like he might spore. No, he Energy Balls again, so that's unfortunate. That's gonna hurt a lot, knocking us down to about a quarter, but we do survive. Giga Drain incoming, and it is not quite enough to take this thing out, unfortunately, as we do get some HP back from that. So I think he's probably speed invested, because statistically, I don't think he'd be winning every speed tie here. So we are both gonna get some HP back with the leftovers here. So yeah, I'm thinking he's got to be. He's got to be speed invested, so we could probably take another hit from this thing, but I really don't want to. It might be a roll, actually, so I think we're going to take a gamble here and switch back into the Bombardier, hoping he's not going to switch up to Spore, and see what he wants to do here. So there it is, and he is going to Energy Ball, thankfully, so we do get the prediction there. Energy Ball not going to do too much damage to us here. He gets another special defense drop on us, which kind of sucks. And then he is going to regain some HP with the leftovers once again. So we're also going to get some HP back with the leftovers here. So I doubt this thing has anything to hit us with, so he may well not want to stay in on this matchup. Again, we have a choice to make. A U-turn would take him out from that range, I think, if he decides to stay in. But I think we're just going to go ahead and take this opportunity to set Stealth Rock up, actually, as he actually does stay in. He outspeeds us in Energy Balls again, so that's going to do some more chip to us, as we do go ahead and get the Stealth Rock set up on him, so that's pretty nice. So we got the Hazard up. That's good. He is going to go ahead and get more HP back with the leftovers here, as we are also going to get some HP back with the leftovers here. So he could be packing Rapid Spin, potentially. That is a possibility, but I think we do have a spin blocker in the Goldango, so we could go into that, but I kind of don't really want to play around with this thing anymore. So we're just going to, we could definitely Sucker Punch him if we're predicting the Rapid Spin. That might be enough to take him out from this range. So you know what? I think we're going to do that, actually. So we'll see what he wants to do. He does stay in. We go Sucker Punch, and that is actually going to be enough to go ahead and finish the Toad Scroll off. So he was probably trying to Rapid Spin there. So that works out very well for us. We get rid of the Toad Scroll and knock him down to 5, and we get to keep the Stealth Rock up. So that is incredible for us, as we do get some HP back with the leftovers once again here. So now he's going to go ahead and come in with the Cinderace. So super pumped to see that thing back in the game. Maximum sarcasm there, of course. So unfortunately, he does not take Stealth Rock damage there, which means, of course, he is going to be heavy-duty boots, as they often are. Now, we do have a special defense drop here although this thing is a physical attacker, so that's not going to matter. We don't really have a great switch to this thing. Bombardier kind of did what it wanted to do here, so we might just. Although this thing could court change, and that would be no good for us. So yeah, there's that. You know what? I think the best course of action here is just to click Brave Bird, so that's what we're gonna do. And of course, he does go for the court change. So super stoked for this thing to be back in Pokemon. Maximum sarcasm. So yeah, he switches the courts, and now we have the Stealth Rock on our side of the field, so that's annoying. But you know what? We're going to Brave Bird this thing for its trouble, because F this thing. So that does a whole lot of damage to him, knocking him into the red. We do take recoil and get Leftovers recovery. So now the question becomes, is he going to want a hard switch here, or is he going to try and attack us? He knows we have Sucker Punch. So he may well try to hard switch this thing out, but you know what, I think it's worth the risk, so I think we're just going to click Sucker Punch here, as he does in fact stay in, and we are going to go ahead and Sucker Punch this thing and take it out, and that is going to knock him down to 4, so goodbye Cinderace, we did not miss you at all. So, as Bombardier is putting in the work here, we get some HP back with the Leftovers, which is incredible. And yeah, so now we're going to see what he wants to bring in response. And yeah, he is definitely thinking about this one. It is unfortunate that we were court changed, so we have the Stealth Rock up on us, but it is what it is. So he is going to go ahead and come in with the Iron Jugulus, that is. So this thing is Dark Flying, I believe, so it's a Dark Flying type as well as we are. So I think we're going to go ahead and I don't want to hard switch on this thing, so we're going to go ahead and click U-turn, see what he wants to do. He should outspeed us. Indeed he is. He goes for the Hurricane, and we cannot survive that, unfortunately, so that's going to be it for the Bombardier. That's going to knock us down to 5. But Bombardier did good. He did good. So now the only question is, what do we want to bring in on this thing? So he could very well be choice itemed here. I'm thinking he might very well be choice item here, as these things often are. So what do we want to bring in on this thing? He could be choice locked. I'm thinking he might be choice locked to Hurricane, so I say we go ahead and come in with the Goldango. So that's what we're going to do. So there it is. We are going to take that Stealth Rock damage. And so yeah, I don't think he's going to want to stay in on this matchup if he is choice. So, but even so, I think the best course of action here, we should play it safe, is just go ahead and go for a nice choice specs, make it rain. I mean, we could go for the Power Gem, but if he does switch, he does have a couple options, or he really has one, being the Alomomola to switch into. So I think Power Gem would be a better move for that. So I think we're just going to go for the Power Gem, actually, as he indeed does switch out, and he's going to go ahead and bring in the, what is it? The Alomomola. Okay, so that comes in. We go for a Choice Specs Power Gem on this thing, and that is going to do a lot of damage, actually. This thing hits really hard, so that's going to take him down a little under half, and then he does get some HP back from the Leftovers. So based on that damage, another one should KO, so I think we're going to go ahead and just go for it. We're going to go for it again as he does stay in. We go for another Choice Specs Power Gem, and that is going to be enough to go ahead and get rid of that Alomomola, knocking him down to 3. So that is incredible for us. So, we'll see what he wants to bring in response here. He definitely still has some threats left on the board, so the only good thing is we do have 2 of his last 3 Pokemon are actually weak to Rock, which is nice. So we'll kind of have to see how this plays out, but okay, so he's going to go ahead now and come in with the Florges, so that is kind of as expected, because that is his only Pokemon remaining that is not weak to Rock. So I think we want to switch out here. What do we want to switch into is the question. I think, what's he going to want to go for against us? I mean, he probably does know that we're choice at this point based on the damage output. But I think just to be safe, we're going to go ahead and switch into the Toedscruel, see what he wants to do here. I don't know what coverage he could actually have for us. Floor just doesn't have the best move pool, but we're going to come in with the Toedscruel. We take the Stealth Rock damage, and he's going to go for the Calm Mind, so that's not great. He's going to go ahead and get that special attack and special defense increase. So, of course, that is not good for us, but we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers here. And I think at this point in the game, we can pretty safely just go for a Spore here, so that's exactly what we're going to do. He does go for the Moonblast here, and we can hang on with 9 HP in the red. We're able to tank that Moonblast, which is incredible, and we go for the Spore in return to go ahead and put that Florges to sleep, which is incredible for us. And then we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So, now the question becomes, how do we want to handle this thing being asleep? So I think he does have a Calm Mind up, which is no good. But I think the best course of action here is actually just to stay in and go for the Sludge Bomb to try and chip this thing down. So that's what we're going to do. He does actually outspeed us. He's asleep this turn, of course. So we are going to Sludge Bomb this thing, which is not going to do much of anything, unfortunately. A little bit of chip damage, and then we are going to get some HP back here with the leftovers. So he's also going to get some HP back with the leftovers here. I think the best thing we can probably do at this point is just stay in and continue to try to chip this thing with Sludge Bombs. We could Giga Drain, but the damage is pretty negligible, or the HP we would recover wouldn't let us tank another Moonblast anyway, I don't think. So we're just going to Sludge Bomb again. We actually outspeed him that time, so it might be a speed tie. We get some more chip on him, but he does wake up, unfortunately, and go for the Moonblast. And yeah, that's going to finish the Toedscruel off, knocking us down to 4 as he is going to go ahead and get some more HP back here with the leftovers. So now I think we have a little bit of a choice to make, but I think the choice is obvious. We have to try and take this thing out. It's set up on the special side, so we need a physical attacker. We're going to come in with the Pawmot, and we're going to take some Stealth Rock damage. And I think the best thing we can do here is actually just go straight for a Double Shock to try and take this thing out, and that's what we're going to do. We'll see what he wants to do. I think it should be enough to take it out, hopefully, if he does stay in, but he may not. But we'll see what he wants to do here. We should be outspeeding this thing. Indeed we do. He does stay in. We go for the Double Shock, and it is enough with a critical hit, actually. I don't know if that mattered or not, as we are max attack as well, but we are going to get rid of the Florges there and knock him down to 2, so that is pretty incredible for us. I don't know if the crit mattered or not, but we did get it. So now he's going to go ahead and come in with the Dragonite, which is always bad news. We definitely can't afford to switch out on this thing, so we're just going to stay in here and click Ice Punch, as he may well want to try and set up. We do outspeed him, actually. We get an Ice Punch to knock him down a little below half, which is nice, as he does go for a Dragon Dance now, which is bad news. He does get that attack and speed increase here, so yeah, this is going to be... We're going to have to play this delicately, let's put it that way, because now that this thing is set up with a Dragon Dance, it is bad news. So, we know he has Dragon Dance, we know for sure he's going to have Extreme Speed, and he's probably going to be packing Terra Normal, as these Dragonites often do. So the question becomes, can we tank an attack? I don't think Pawmot can't tank an attack, but I think the best course of action here is actually just to try and go for a close combat, because I'm reading the Terra Normal, so I think that's the best course of action, probably. So that's what we're going to do here, as indeed he is going to go ahead and Terrestrialize, and we get disconnected. So that's well, that's very unfortunate. So he's going to go ahead and Terrestrialize into the normal type as anticipated. And so, yeah, there it is. And we're not even going to get to see that turn, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's going to be the end of the match right there. That is quite unfortunate. the DC has occurred. Whose side was it on is the real question. I hope it's not my side because we were having a pretty intense match there. And what's it going to be? No, we are still online. So the DC is on his side, unfortunately. So I don't believe it's intentional. I know he did say he was having some internet issues. So I don't think that DC was intentional. But nonetheless, we have gotten DC'd, so I feel like we have to call the match at this point. So at that point in time, we were up 4-2 on him, I believe it was, because we still had the Palmot, we had the, at least for time being, we had the Goldingo, we had the Iron Moth, and then we had the Oinkologne. So he only had the Dragonite and the Iron Jugulus. So I believe I'm going to call that as a 4-2 victory for us. We were also getting to the point in the game where the timer might have been a factor. So obviously we could run some theories here at this point as to what would have happened. I personally think that more than likely he would have taken our Palmot out with an extreme speed. Terra normal extreme speed, and then at that point it would have just been a matter of what kind of set he was running and what we could do. I mean, we could have potentially come in with the Goldengo to tank a hit depending on what kind of moveset he was rocking, and then finish him off with a Make It Rain. We actually probably could have outsped him with the Choice Scarf Iron Moth still, so if he wasn't predicting the Scarf, then we could have come in with that, outsped him, and taken him out with an attack. The Oinkologne was max HP, so we probably could have tanked an attack from with that as well. So it's really hard to say at that point, but there wasn't much in the game left, but definitely a few critical turns. But yeah, I feel like we would have had it. But I guess even though technically we'll never know, the DC was on his end, so yeah, we get a 4-2 victory there over JustWeavile. It is unfortunate that it had to end that way. I definitely wanted to see what would have happened there, but what can you do? Internet connections are what they are, and Pokemon is what it is, so not much we can do about that. But there you go. So that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and/or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.